Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We're going to be looking at the New Mutants, number 43 from 1986. Great cover by Barry Windsor Smith. And this issue is great because Empath is gonna finally get his here as we see the New Mutants, all of them ganging up on Empath, who absolutely positively deserves his comeuppance. So, we're gonna start with the return of Sunspot, and so he's heading back. And so this is his mom, who's a pilot, and we see Cannonball here. I'm kind of going to go through real quick through the beginning of this book, and then we'll get to the meat of the book in a bit here. So this is basically serving as an introduction to the New Mutants. So we've got Cannonball here, Sam Guthrie, and so the title is Getting Even. And here we have our credits. The Whilce Portacio is the inker of this. Of course, we know Whilce Portacio is going to be one of the people to help found Image comic books. And so so we got Cannonball here, and Thomas Zukowski has a partner here with the letters, and the Sentient Jim Shooter round up the editorial, and then you can see the Twin Towers here in New York. And so, of course, we see Danny and her horse. So this is all just introduction of everybody. Kind of Chris Claremont letting everybody know. I have a playlist, by the way. I started with New Mutants all the way from the beginning. Feel free to check that out if you would so like. I have this entire series of the Chris Claremont. I have the entire Chris Claremont New Mutants series. So I also have a couple of other playlists. Here's Eliana, Colossus' sister. And so she let me real quick, Warlock is and Cypher is in there. So Cypher's powers is languages. Warlock is an alien creature who shapeshifts and is like electronically. You can see Sam here. Obviously, he creates kind of like a rocket. And Mirage is able to create Mirage's psychic things. Eliana it can teleport, and she can go into the realm of limbo, where there's demons, and it's kind of like hell but not hell. And so she takes Bobby so that she doesn't have to land, and they take him all the way to the mansion. And of course Amara is here. This is she's magma, controls the earth, and makes magma come out. And of course we've got Karma. And so he brought everyone's presents here. Well, we'll get to that point later here. So everybody's just happy to see him, and he says, "You're looking sharp." Bobby says, "Cannonball." He's like, "A pity can't be the same about you, gawky as ever." And of course, he's like, "Not according to Leela Cheney, who dates him." And he's like, "I don't believe it. Some women have no taste whatsoever." And he's like, "Hey, watch your mouth." And really, and then you remember that Sunspot is a bit of a hothead. He has a temper. And so he's, of course, like, "Come on, take a swing. I dare you." And of course, Magma's like, "What? What's wrong with you?" And so she she uses her power to melt some of the dirt and get him now into rock. And of course, he's like, gets out. He's like, "Is that supposed to hold me prisoner? You've got to be kidding me." And then he apologizes, says, "I'm sorry that I said that." So, all right. So now he brings everybody presents here. And so, and here comes Stevie Hunter, who's one of the teachers here, and she's having him looking like, hey, she does dance and choreography and all that kind of stuff to keep the students limber here, and so she's like, man, look at you, you've let yourself go. And so he asks about Tom and Sharon. So he got them presents, and they're like, I'm not sure they're in the mood these days for presents. He's like, why? What happened? Is something wrong? Remember, he was not around for that stuff. He had gone to Brazil to go see his mom. So we're going to get to the meat of the story now. And so, oh my God, Sharon, not Sharon. Oh my God, Stevie tells him about what happened with the White Queen Massachusetts Academy and what Empath did, and that Sharon and Tom haven't been the same since. And so um, they're he's so we're getting exposition kind of recap. It's really good, the stuff that they did in this era to let people catch up. You may have missed the previous issue, so it happened. It really did, because comic book stores weren't as prevalent back then. It's not like now, and so you could have missed an issue. So we're getting a little bit of what happened with Magneto giving the kids to the White Queen after that whole thing with the Beyonder. As I mentioned, I have a playlist, so feel free to check that out. And here's Tom just kind of cleaning the barn, and here's Sharon just kind of sitting in there. The two were lovesick puppies because of Empath, and so she lets him know, Empath did this, and he's like, what's Magneto doing about it? And I say Magneto, not Magneto. So deal with it. It's Magnet with an O. And she's like, mind your manners, boy, when you talk to me. He's doing everything he can to help Tom and Sharon recover. They're what's important to him. Vengeance can wait. And of course, Bobby's like, forever, probably. You rather go punch Empath's lights out? That's precisely what I want. And if he won't, then we should. This is now them meeting with the New Mutants. So they are actually going to pay him back. They're actually going to agree. And let me tell you, I actually agree with this. Empath deserves everything that's coming to him. And you're going to get, if you have wanted Empath to get his comeuppance, then enjoy. So, they are going to make a plan here and you're gonna see how it unfolds. So I'm sort of just gonna skip over here, but the New Mutants decide that he's a bully and he needs to be taught a lesson, and so they agree. All the New Mutants agree. Sam says he's got his doubts, but he also hates bullies. So let's go get him. And so here we go. All right. So here we got Empath here, and these kids are playing, and one of them is like wanting to be X Factor, and Empath is like, ugh. And so he uses his powers to make the kids not like the girl. And he smiles. He's like, because I filled their hearts with mortal terror. From this day forth, whenever they see you, and they will remember this fear. They are your friends no more. A fitting punishment for daring to attack Homo Superior, even in fun. And so, for you for impersonating your betters. And so, off the New Mutants sort of see this, and they are ready to go. And so you see she takes everybody to Limbo. And so later that night, he's sleeping and he wakes up and he is in hell, or Limbo here. And Ileana gets him. He's going to try to use his powers on her, but of course he can't use his powers, particularly on Limbo where she's in control. And here's Sim, and he's like, let me go, and of course they don't. And she's going to cut him off. He's like, no, please have mercy. He's like, it's got to be a dream. Of course, it's not. She tries to cut him, but he doesn't work. And so Terrence felt something. So this is why the Hellions are here. I like the fact that she's got her tail here. Um, and so this is Thunderbird, who will become Warpath. And so she kind of turns into her cat form, and she's like, the New Mutants were here, and they kidnapped Empath, and of course this is Jetstream, and he's wearing these are pajamas, believe it or not. He's not wearing a dress. These are pajamas. He's like, the Mutants have kidnapped Empath. Bravo for them. Let's go back to bed and leave De La Rocha to his well-deserved fate. We're better off without him. But of course, Thunderbird is the leader. He's like, that's his style, Jetstream, not ours. So long as he's part of the team, we'd look after him. And then Jetstream's like, you think Thunderbird would do the same for us? And he's like, not the point, buddy. You want to sink to his level. And so he basically tells him, hey, we have no choice. We have to go after him. So, all right. So Empath is sitting here. He is all scared and all that. He doesn't know where he's at. He wonders he's still in limbo. Here's a crack. He's like, who's there? Show yourself. And the door's locked. And you see there's nowhere to run, little man, nowhere to hide. He's like, leave me alone, make us. And so the Hellions, now back in the academy, are going to go look for him. They're using kind of like Cerebro system that they also have to try to locate him. And so meanwhile here, their Magma is using her powers to bring this thing. He's like, volcanic eruption, I'll be burned alive. And he transmutes, there's another demon. And he's just so scared. It's just awesome to see him get his come up. He's like, no, as he runs, he trips. And they're like, boo-hoo. And Sunspot grabs him and throws him away. And then Cannonball grabs him and heading full steam to this thing. This is Warlock, by the way. So he throws him in there, and he doesn't get, because of course Warlock shifted so that he wouldn't get impaled here. They're not trying to kill him. And he's like, oh. And of course he's like, I'm not dead. And of course they're that's not the goal. They're like, killing you too easily, too soon would spoil the fun. And so this is Mirage. So she comes through. So he traps her and enslaves her, and you can see her. He's like, you'll do whatever I ask because she loves me. He's like, oh yes, Lord and Master, blah blah blah. But it turns out this is a trick, and look at her. And so this is, of course, like, this is kind of like a little horror thing. And so of course her and Karma were far away, so that we're out of sight, so he couldn't use his power on them. And so they're scaring him and trying to get even. And you can see here Warlock gets him, and he's all like, no, please, I beg you. He's gonna tell him he's gonna eat him. And so he's like, no more, please, I'm sorry. And so Cypher gets him. He's gonna punch him, but he decides not to. And he's like, he's had enough. This is, look at us. They're like, he's hurt our friends, and they're taking he's taking the heroic road. This is not what heroes do. And so Bobby, of course, Sunspot here, doesn't want any. He's just like, coward, am I the only one with courage enough to do what must be done? And Cannonball says, we've done enough, Bobby, maybe too much, let him be. And Sunspot's like, he hasn't learned his lesson. And Karma's like, what do you have in mind, Bobby, killing him? And of course the Hellions show up here. I sure hope not, Mirage says, Warpath, else things here are likely to get real unpleasant. We're not afraid of you, Hellions. We've beaten you before. We'll do it again. And of course Karma says, not tonight, we won't. Chill away, Sunspot, or answer to me. We've no quarrel with you, Thunderbird, or even with Empath anymore. And they're like, I understand, Mirage. We know what he is, but for better or for worse, he's one of us. Like the New Mutants, we Hellions take care of our own. And he's Cypher says he doesn't deserve you. Those are the breaks as part of the team. Maybe he'll get better on his own. No way. I figure it's time you moseyed, okay? And so the he's not very. So it's just like not very happy, and so he goes, your boy got lucky tonight, Thunderbird. Best he quits while he's ahead. I don't like threats, Pipsqueak. So said Thunderbirds. Anyway, so off goes the New Mutants, and so Empath is like, "How did you find me, Thunderbird? And why did it take you so long?" And so he tells him we pinpointed your position, and he says you're safe now. And of course, Empath is like, those fools dared lay hands on me. By the saints, they shall regret it. And Thunderbird is kind of like, thick as ever, love and brick, aren't you? And so here, Thunderbird is like, I said I'd keep you in line, Buster. And you know I'm a man who takes his word and his responsibilities very seriously, and punches him. And he's like, surprise us, Empath. Learn from this experience, because if you don't, you'll have to deal with me. Next issue, run away. So, Empath got his comeuppance, which were very well deserved. So, I really do enjoy this issue because I'm always for the bully getting what he deserves. So, New Mutants number 43 by written by Chris Claremont. Oh my gosh, I forgot who penciled this. Steve Purcell. Never heard of him. I think this is the first thing I've ever seen that he's ever drawn. So he must have been just someone that was trying out. And then Whilce Portacio in the inks, and of course we all know who Whilce Portacio is. So like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed watching Empath get his comeuppance. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.